It's another moment for the Guild of Editors to have a warm handshake with the federal government as it brings its concerns on the need for a review of the media laws that have become obsolete in the face of an ever-changing media space. The leader of the delegation set the motion on the need to have a more enabling media law that would promote Nigeria's democracy.
As the gatekeepers of the Nigerian media in Nigeria, we feel that it is important for us to be a critical part of the conversation towards the reformation of the media, especially towards the constitution review process.
What are the specific details of the portion of the contentious media laws that needs to be repealed?
We have allowed Section 59, Subsection 1 of the Criminal Code to stay. We didn't touch it. And that deals with the issue of publication of false news with the intent to cause fear and alarm to the public, because that has been duplicated in other parts of the statute. And of course, we have the cyber crimes law, which has now, particularly Section 24, which has now become so abused over time.
The sentiments seem mutual as the minister assured the editors of federal government's commitment to a free and responsible press.
It is absolutely important for all of us in exercising our role, in holding government and leaders to account. We need to know that we have to do that with utmost responsibility. Yes, like you have said, some of these laws are really outdated. Many of them require some form of harmonization. Some, according to you, need to be repealed. We'll look at that. I won't sit down here to say all your recommendations have been accepted because it's not within my power to do that. But what I can tell you is that I will certainly work with this report and make sure that it gets the attention that it requires.
It turns out those moments, the media and the government seem to be on the same page, as they agreed the media space needs an inclusive, updated, and resilient laws that would set Nigeria's democracy on the path of progress. Benga Ashur, Arise News.
Right, for more on the proposal on media laws for reforms by the Nigerian Guild of Editors, we're now joined by Martins Oloja, a member of the Media Laws Reform Committee. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you.
Congratulations would be in order. I mean, an amazing outing, as it's been reported, your two-day biennial conference in Enugu that you just returned from. I mean, great outing. Now, you had this visit with the Minister of Information where you submitted, a law report, by your guild.
Yes.
Give us a peep into the high points of the reforms recommended in that report. Of course, before we talk about the outcome of your, meeting in Enugu.
Okay, it's a very significant document we submitted, because there are some laws like that impede even democracy, that impedes practice of journalism. Because if we do not repeal those laws, including sedition, some criminal defamation, and even some surprise, you will find that in Newspaper Act of 1964, they stay there, and some, even sedition that a judge, Justice Olatawara, since 1982, just was scrapped like that. They're still there. Sedition. He told leaders at that time that, look, you cannot continue to listen to criticism. If you are in public service, you must plug your ears with cotton wool. And that was, at the time, this expression came into political vocabulary, that if you cannot stand the heat of criticism, just get out of the kitchen. So some of these laws are there, but the significance of this relationship is this, that for the first time, media executives have come together to prepare a document. It's the document.
Right.
And instead of writing editorials and be criticizing and be doing all sorts of things that have not been successful since the time of even the military rule, will do something, will set up media council, will set up press council. Press council is still there, but it's moribund. But this time, we have taken a strategic position, and we said, let us set up a committee. The president of the guild set up the committee. The council got a few of us together. I'm a fellow of the guild, senior member of the guild, a former managing director and editor-in-chief of the Guardian newspaper, and even editor-in-chief of Daily Trust. Richard Akinola is a veteran in the judicial reporting, and he has written so many books on this issue, among other members of the committee. And we produced this document, and we have submitted it. And the thing is this information minister is very resourceful. He uses public relations approach for the management of public information. He's not harassing anybody, he listens. And we discovered that we can work with him. And we approached him, and you heard him. And we praised him for the way he has been very, very resourceful in managing public relations.
Okay.
It's quite significant.
All right. Because I think that takes us to my next question. For critics who may not understand why the government should be involved in media reform laws, they probably will ask that, is this not like asking the lion to build the goat's house? Will this not be used against the press eventually? But I guess you partly answered that. You might still want to speak to it. I wanted to ask you, how confident are you that this will go beyond the talk, beyond the meeting you had today with the minister?
You know, the minister somehow is tested. It's not, he was secretary of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria. So it's not new. We know him. We trust him. And since he assumed office as information minister, he has handled so many conflicts without making noise. He has handled conflicts, and even he didn't allow even some senior members of the cabinet to just bulldoze him into just fighting. He knows how to resolve conflict. He's a conflict resolution expert. If there is any problem, and he even tested the one that was a report of a particular newspaper, they used ombudsman, and he was able to manage it in such a way that even the ombudsman found the newspaper's report false, and they got the newspaper to apologize on its front page.
They did.
We saw it.
Yeah.
He was at the center of that conflict resolution. So we trust him. So we have discovered that in modern time we need collaboration instead of fighting. We need a resourceful manager of information like that to collaborate with the leadership of the guild, which is the most active we have seen in recent time. We are still going to collaborate with members of the National Assembly.
Right.
But if it can come in form of executive bill, it can come in form of amendment bill from members of the National Assembly, we are still going to talk to the Attorney General. So it's not just the information minister, but because he is the minister in charge of information, we began with him.
Right.
We are still going to meet with the Attorney General. We are going to meet with presiding officers of the National Assembly so that there will be no conflict here and there. We'll do public hearing. But we just want them to understand our position and to note one thing, elephant in the room of this discussion, that when journalists and media executives talk about freedom of expression, let us deepen this democracy by freeing this, by amending this law. It is not for journalists, it's for the people.
Absolutely.
It's for the people and not for journalists. We are only just this fourth estate of the realm that with the section 22 of the Constitution empowers to monitor governance and to be talking about all these things, but not necessarily the freedom we are asking for, freedom of expression and freedom of this and that, is not
very quickly,
for people.
No,
it's not for journalists, but for the people.
Very quickly, before we wrap this, I mean, your outing in Enugu focused on the role of the media in national security.
Yes.
Very quickly underscore that point. What was the outcome of that particular
the outcome is quite good, because one, we have a responsibility to be conflict sensitive in our reporting, because we are in a very perilous time when even media reports can even deepen the conflict that we are trying to resolve.
Right.
So when we come together like that, and as we did in Enugu with security and intelligence chiefs, we had very useful discussion. But for our consumption, because the person who gave the keynote is the head of the Secret Service, and he told us clearly that he is the head of Secret Service, and henceforth we will not be seeing them for whatever they are doing in an overt way, but covert.
Yes.
And we discussed extensively. He gave us hints. We gave him hints. We asked questions about how to manage this thing within the context of peace and security.
Great.
Right.
That's a rare collaboration between the media and security circle. Thank you so much. Martins Oloja is a member of the Media Law Reforms Committee of the Nigerian Guild of Editors. Thank you. We'll be looking at the journey for this new law for media practitioners, and as you said, for the benefit of
the people.
Nigerians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.